Hey everyone, today on People Now. The new collab with Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande that has fans going wild.
Ripa has been isolating with her family in the Caribbean, and we are all kinds of jealous.
She was so supportive.
Janelle Monáe opening up about working with executive producer Julia Roberts on Homecoming Season 2.
This is my glam room.
The ladies of the talk give us their tips and tricks to life staying at home.
Yvette Nicole Brown getting real about her wild new family competition show on Disney+.
Also,
I'm going to show you guys exactly what I do.
Drybar founder Ali Webb shows us a super easy blowout that we can all do at home.
That and more, all today on People Now. Let's go.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Memorial Day weekend. I'm Andrea Boehlke here in Wisconsin. Welcome to People Now. Jeremy, what's poppin'?
Yeah, it's crazy. We are starting week 11 from home right now, working from home, doing the show, which is unbelievable. It's crazy. It's Memorial Day. I'm getting kind of crazy about noticing things that I would not normally notice. For example, I was in the shower and it dawned on me, when was the last time I actually washed my feet? Do you actively wash your feet when you shower?
I do. Well, not when I shower, but I take a lot of time to wash my feet.
I take care of my feet. Like, I'll do the clippings, I'll do lotion, everything. But it's just like, I just assume the soap, it's just going to, I don't actively, anyway, these are the crazy things. And I asked my wife and she was like, I mean, I guess I wash them, but maybe not. And then I was like, how many people actively wash their feet in the shower? I would guess a lot don't.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people take good care of their feet.
I'm not saying I don't take care of them. I'm just saying I don't actively scrub because the soap's going down. Anyway,
well, if we haven't lost
I'm obviously
you yet,
spiraling. What's that?
If we haven't lost the viewers yet, there is a lot to get to today besides Jeremy washing his feet. Yeah,
here we go. We finally have a Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande collab. We've been waiting. Here it is. Take a listen.
Lady Gaga is giving listeners another taste of her upcoming album, Chromatica. The Grammy-winning singer released her latest single, Rain on Me, featuring Ariana Grande on Friday. It follows the album's first single, Stupid Love, which was released in February. The upbeat song features a futuristic techno-pop vibe, boasting the talents of both artists. Grande shares her signature high notes, while Gaga delivers bold echoes throughout the track.
Fans have been awaiting the song since April when Gaga first dropped the track list for her LP. Now, the two singers have been teasing the song on social media. They've been tweeting out lyrics. They've been sharing a handful of promotional photos of themselves as well.
Gaga previously told Paper Magazine about the first time she bonded with Grande, and they talked about their lives. As for the song, she says it is about two women having a conversation about how to keep going and how to be grateful for what you do.
On Thursday, Gaga tweeted at Grande saying, quote, "Love you, let's do this, nothing can stop us, we know that now." Grande then responded and wrote, "I love you so much more, nothing could stop us before either, we just had to realize it. I'm so excited, thank you, I'm ready." That's their quotes.
They're a great team together.
Yeah.
Chromatica is Gaga's first album since her 2016 album, Joanne. Chromatica was originally scheduled to release on April 10th, but it was delayed due to the ongoing coronavirus outbreak. The 16-track album will now be released on May 29th.
Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos have been self-isolating with their 3 kids in the Caribbean. A source tells People exclusively that the couple, along with daughter Lola and sons Michael and Joaquin, were on a trip together when ABC instructed them to shelter in place. So they decided to stay put.
Kelly discussed their decision during a virtual town hall with ABC employees on Thursday. According to a source at the town hall, Kelly said that 3 days after the family's arrival, everything shut down. She said, quote, "The government shut down, our country shut down. I hate to use the word stuck, but we were." Kelly shared that it was distressing because both of her and Mark's parents were supposed to join them on the trip a week later, but they couldn't. And she added, quote, "Lucky for us, we had our 3 children."
Kelly said that while it was supposed to be a 2-week trip, she ended up going right back to work. She said, quote, "Ryan and I both decided it was better to do the show because we just felt like with everything that was going on in the world, that perhaps some normalcy of just doing what we normally do, even though it was like in very unusual circumstances, would be the best thing for us."
And while they may be in the Caribbean away from home, the couple still managed to celebrate son Michael's graduation on Thursday. She praised her son on Instagram and proudly shared photos from NYU's virtual ceremony thrown by the institution to honor its class of 2020.
All right, today's story to make you smile is brought to you by a little girl helping kids in need. Watch this.
Hi, Miss Sarah's class. It's Chelsea from Chelsea's Charity. I hope you're at home enjoying those art kits I gave you. Now that we're all home, that gives us more time to do what matters most. We can spend time with our family, and art is important to me because No matter how bad I'm feeling, or if it's sunny or rainy, my art supplies are always there for me.
Since March, 10-year-old Chelsea Fair from Danbury, Connecticut has sent over 1,500 kits to schools, shelters, and foster homes in 12 states across the U.S. to help cheer up other kids stuck inside during the pandemic.
The kits include markers, crayons, paper, coloring books, colored pencils, and gel pens, and are sent as part of Chelsea's Charity. It's an organization founded by Chelsea and her parents.
Chelsea's Charity was launched in August of 2019 on Chelsea's birthday. She asked her party guests to donate art supplies instead of getting her birthday gifts, and she used those donations to send out her first 40 art kits to a homeless shelter in New York.
Prior to the pandemic, Chelsea and her mom would travel across the country to meet kids and teachers in person. But now with social distancing precautions, they started mailing kits.
Chelsea's mom, who's also an early childhood education professor and former teacher, tells CNN that art therapy is being prescribed a lot more to support the mental health of young kids. And she adds that now with COVID-19, a lot of kids might not have access to art supplies that they usually find in school. So it's motivated Chelsea's Charity to send out even more kits. Way to go, Chelsea.
All right, stay with us. We're chatting with the cast of Prime Video's Homecoming, including Janelle Monáe, who's been giving back during the coronavirus pandemic. Plus, Yvette Nicole Brown dishes on what it was like virtually reuniting with her Community co-stars and why the cast's friendship hasn't changed. Stick around.
You know, it's hard to share certain things, but at the same time, you know, we know we're going to get the crazy things like, oh, their marriage is a mess and who would want to listen to them? And it's like, that's fine. You know, I totally can get how someone can have that perspective, but at the same time, we're also a couple that are willing to fight for their marriage. And you know, we've learned a lot of things along the way. And so, yes, we might have some crazy fights and stories they're gonna read about in the book, but hopefully it's gonna make people feel a little less alone and also maybe how to avoid those situations in their future.
Jana, Kramer, and her husband, Mike Caussin, have just announced their upcoming book called The Good Fight. It dives into their relationship's ups and downs and how they've worked through many hardships together. Now, the couple opened up exclusively to People and shared that this book grew out of Jana initially starting to write her own book, but Mike was hesitant about her including some intimate details about his cheating, their brief separation, and his treatment for sex addiction. Take a listen.
I was writing a book about just kind of like my life and our relationship. And at the time we did like the treatment, I gave it to Mike and he just ripped it up and was just like, you're not releasing this. And, you know, and just, you know, full of shame, which I get. And I didn't understand at the time. I was like, I want to help people and I want to like, you know, like the only reason I want to say things is like to help other people. And so he was just like, no. And so
this was within the first calendar year of everything happening. Yeah. So it was like, it was still real new for both of us. Mm-hmm. I was still so much stuck in shame that I didn't see the silver lining of how we can help other people because I just was so small at the time.
Once Mike joined the Wind Down podcast and got comfortable and wanted to realize the impact of sharing, mm-hmm. which helps other people, he realized that, and you know, we kind of started to toy around with a book idea because for me, like when everything happened and he went to treatment, I was so nose deep in self-help books and trying to find a book that I could relate to, and there was not one book that I could honestly relate to and also have a silver lining in it. So for me, like it was all about this wife that maybe left her cheating husband, or it was you know, or, you know, a man and it was, or a therapist. And I'm like, I can't relate to any of this. I'm like, I just need, you know, I need tools. And I also need to know that like they went through this, but now they're here. And so honestly, I'm so happy that we wrote the book that I needed so badly in that moment, but then also in today's moment too. A happy marriage, you know, we're happy, but we also have still a lot of work to do. And I think that's an example that we use in the book a lot, where it's like she just said too, like we have a lot of work to still do, but you know, we're learning, but we have the tools, and here are the tools and to try to help other people. We do put things in there that we haven't shared before.
Yeah, we do.
That, you know, about stuff surrounding, you know, pregnancy with Jace and when I was on Dancing with the Stars. And there are some things in there that we talk about that, you know, we decided was a good time to just kind of lay it all out there. Yeah. And again, give perspective and, you know, why Mike was gone in January. Like, it's just like, there's a lot of things that like people, you know, have been wondering about, and that we kind of, in our words, put it out there.
The news of their book comes on their 5th wedding anniversary, and Jana shared why it's so significant they decided to announce that news today.
Like, I never thought that we'd be here, to be totally honest.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't know, the last 5 has been just a lot of freaking work. And I truly hope the next 5 will be easier because of the tools that we have. Yeah. But I hope if anyone can see this and go, okay, their first 5 and everything they went through in the first 5 years of their marriage, if they're able to get through it, then maybe we can too. And I think that's why why we wanted to announce it on our 5 years, because, you know, I can't go on my or basically our Instagram and say, you know, happy 5-year anniversary to the love of my life. Like, absolutely, it's been the best marriage ever. Like, you know, and do that Instagram worthy thing. That's just not reality. It's been freaking hard. Yeah. For both of us. Like, he's had there's things I've could have done better, things he could have done better, and it's for both of us where it's been really hard. And you know what though, we're still fighting the good fight, and I think that's the most honest, authentic, because I to be honest, I get very uncomfortable whenever anniversaries come up and have to post about it. And so, but now it's like I can be proud of it, and I could say we worked really hard to get here. And I think that's the coolest message to put out there at 5 years.
Jana and Mike also share how they're going to tell their kids about their relationship hardships and what they want the kids to learn from their love story. Watch.
I want them to find out before they find out from a friend or something, before they start Googling. Hopefully we're still married and we're able to sit them down and say, look, you know, mommy and daddy went through some really crazy stuff in the beginning of our marriage, but look where we're at now, and look how, you know, what we're doing now, and how happy we are, and how we communicate. And yes, mommy and daddy still fight sometimes, but we do it in a better way. And because our therapist had to not hide fighting, and kids need to see resolve. They need to see, you know, not screaming at each other, but they need to see that disagreement, or they think every relationship is perfect. So, you know, just telling them that. And then, you know, if for some reason, God forbid, we're not together, then that's another conversation. You know, we realized we were happier parents, you know, apart. So, because they don't need perfect parents, they need happy parents. So however we're happy is how our relationship will go. But I think it's just having that honest conversation and asking if they have questions around it.
Jana Kramer and Mike Caussin's book, The Good Fight, will be released on September 22nd, but is available now for pre-order, so make sure to check it out.
In this week's issue of People, Tamara Day is opening up about how she went from stay-at-home mom to star of HGTV's Bargain Mansions. She tells People that she still can't believe her good fortune, and she still pinches herself about how insane it is.
In 2008, after welcoming her 3rd son, she and her husband Bill bought their first bargain mansion. She recalls how the place was a disaster, and then midway through renovations, the financial crisis hit, forcing her to take over the role of general contractor.
There also wasn't a lot of money left for furniture, so she began buying stuff at estate sales and would refurbish the items. After friends began asking to buy her work, she turned it into a business, and she began holding furniture sales and picking up clients looking for design and renovation help. Day tells People that her career just grew from that.
Eventually, her 2 brothers introduced her to a TV producer, and Day now flips dilapidated homes with her father on HGTV's Bargain Mansions.
It all worked out. She also reveals that her passion for home renovations might have started early on in her childhood when she had to do a creative punishment. She explains to People, quote, one of my first memories as a kid was sitting on the staircase in timeout filling nail holes with wood putty.
So some kids might have grown up loathing any repair-related stuff because of that, but Day went on to make a career out of it. Great for her.
Amazon Prime's hit series Homecoming is back for its 2nd season with an exciting new mystery and an even more exciting new addition to the cast, Janelle Monáe. I chatted with Janelle about her role on the show and why she says she is forever indebted to season 1 star and current executive producer, Julia Roberts. Take a look.
I was a fan of season 1, and I was a fan of the podcast, and I knew that if I were to read this season's script, if they brought that uniqueness, you know, to this season, it was a yes. And when I was reading it, my expectations were exceeded. I think it's smart. I think that it antes up on the stakes and the action, and mystery, you know, and the psychological, you know, of it all.
Yeah.
And I was drawn in. And once I talked to the director, Kyle, and I talked to the writers, Eli and Micah, and I got a sense of where they wanted to go, because they didn't send me the last episode. So I signed on without knowing what episode, you know, 7 was going to be. And once I talked to them and got a better understanding of their vision, you know, I knew this was going to be an outlier in TV.
Yeah, people obviously remember Julia Roberts in season 1. She's executive producing this time around. What's the kind of working vibe of that relationship with her off camera?
Oh, it's all love. I had an opportunity to meet her, and she came on set, and I was so nervous because she was going to be watching Stefan, you know, her old scene partner, and me doing this like kind of intense scene. And so we did our scene, and all of a sudden I hear this loud, ah! And Stefan and I are looking like, you know, because it's usually quiet on set. And one of the guys from production leaned in and was like, I think she loves it. That's Julia Roberts. So that was the highest compliment, you know, to get, you know, from her, and reassurance that, you know, she was so supportive, and she's executive producing, as you mentioned. So she was a part of the process to pick me. Thank you, Julia, for passing me the baton. I'm forever indebted.
I also chatted with Janelle's co-stars, Stefan James, Hong Chow, and Chris Cooper, and Stefan shared that working with Janelle is just as thrilling as the show itself.
She's unreal. I've been a big fan of Janelle for a long time. You know, certainly her music and some of the stuff I started seeing her do as far as acting, and just blown away with what she was able to do with the show. Honestly, I'm so impressed with her process, sort of her attention to detail, her focus, her energy, her passion. Just an incredible spirit. I honestly wouldn't have had it any other way for this season. I've been pretty spoiled now for 2 years straight.
Actress Hong Chow plays Audrey Temple. She shared what it was like returning to the character this time around.
I signed up for the show in the first season knowing that she would play a much bigger role in the second season. When they pitched it to me, when I met with Sam Esmail and the writers, Micah Bloomberg and Eli Horowitz, they told me that Audrey Temple was going to seem like a very insignificant character in the beginning, that she would just kind of be in the background until that final scene at the very end of the season, where we see her making a big power move against her supervisor, Colin Belfast, who's played by Bobby Cannavale. So it was a great joy to get to read the scripts for the second season, because I was flying completely blind in season 1. I didn't know very much about my character or what the Geist Corporation was. So a lot of those questions were answered, thankfully, in season 2.
Chris Cooper is also new to the cast this season and plays Leonard Geist, the head of the Geist Corporation. Chris told me that even though he didn't get to act alongside Julia on Homecoming, he's no stranger to working with the Oscar-winning actress on set. Chris, you worked with Julia Roberts in August Osage County. How is she different when she puts on her producer hat versus the acting hat?
I haven't seen, you know, she didn't come out to the set during shooting. So that's a mystery to me. But I will tell you, I worked with Julia a long time ago. If anybody remembers Miami Vice.
Oh, yeah.
Julia and I worked on the same episode, which was a cliffhanger to the next to last year. So that's where we first met.
Stefan also says Julia Roberts is still very much a present figure on the show and in his life.
Julia's been incredible. She has been super supportive behind the scenes. Is always texting in to check on me and on us and on the show. Just a big supporter. I think she was looking forward to what this season would look like more than anyone, honestly. So she's still a great friend.
Yeah, we're sure Julia is loving all the new twists and new talent like Janelle. But when Janelle isn't solving a big mystery, she's giving back. I asked her about her initiative to help feed hungry families in Atlanta during the pandemic. Watch. Quickly before we go, I just want to ask you a little bit about your work with Wanda Lunch and what that's all about.
We've done it in the past, 2 weeks ago, and we had the opportunity to feed 5,000 folks. We are out there from 12 to 3. You RSVP. You can go to my socials to find that information. And these are contact-free lunches. You know, you don't have to even get out of your car. You can walk up, obviously have on your gloves, have on your masks. And our goal is to like relieve some pressure. You know, this is a tough time for everybody. And it's just an honor to be able to help a place that's given so much to me and help the people who have made me smile and supported my career.
It's really inspiring to see her giving back, helping so many people, especially at a time like this. You can watch Janelle Monáe and the rest of the cast on the second season of Homecoming. It is streaming now on Amazon Prime Video.
You have a pattern. When someone upsets you, you go for the jugular.
You do it all the time, so you should recognize it very well. You hurt my feelings, and I need you always to support me. And
I do support you.
No, you don't.
Doreen, I'm so sorry you're still unhappy.
I'm sorry that there's been so many men in your life that have come and gone, and you can't live.
You know what? I think you should just leave. Just leave.
I'd love to be kicked out of a good house.
The most recent episode of The Real Housewives of New York City was jam-packed with friction between Ramona Singer and Dorinda Medley. Ramona caught up with one of our producers, Sam Belikoff, to chat all about it. Plus, she shared her thoughts on the cast additions and if Bethenny Frankel would ever return.
She also revealed some behind-the-scenes scoop from Season 3's infamous Scary Island episode, which aired 10 years ago this week. Watch this.
Is there anything about this season coming up or that's already aired that you want to get off your chest, that you feel like you haven't been able to speak to yet, any misconceptions you want to clear up?
Yeah, Dorinda, she says some really nasty things about me that aren't true. They're, and they're basically blatant lies, and she's just not feeling good about herself, and she attacks me, and that really is upsetting. But I know she's not in a good place, so I can forgive her, but I want the viewers to know it's not true. But she actually says something that I wish ill on people. I'm the first person that helps people. I had women who work for me. I set them up in business. I mean, you need a doctor. I mean, I'll find the doctor for you. I'm the go-to girl. So when she says things like that, it's just very hurtful and not true. And that's upsetting.
The Schadenfreude moment. She said that you take pleasure when people are
right. And it's just that is so. I mean, you'll see. My look. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, I'm the first person. I mean, Dorinda's husband had just passed on, and I said, you must come to my birthday party. And there are 20 girls, some of them. You have to live your life, come as small as contained. Please, I'm begging you to come. I mean, I would call her every week to check up on her. I mean, that's, and if something is good for them, I mean, I'm happy too, it's just not me.
You said that Dorinda goes for the jugular, and she turned it around on you and said to do the same. In an interview, she even said you were a living vampire. What did you think of that?
That's just a way of her deflecting. I think she doesn't even realize how really deplorable her behavior is and how much she really hurts people. I mean, you'll see through the season different examples of this behavior. And it's almost like she can't contain her anger, and it becomes very vicious.
Yeah. What did you think of Dorinda saying that she's been very scared of you?
Is scared of me? No, if anything, everyone's scared of her. That's why, and I realized that's why everyone doesn't even, I actually wrote a letter of apology, an email to Dorinda, and not to Dorinda, to Tinsley, because when I watched the episode of The Orchard, the way Dorinda was going after her, it was just not necessary. And I just thought by not saying anything, it'd make it better. But I realized, it wasn't the right thing to do. I should have stood up for Tinsley, and I felt really bad about it. And I actually expressed it in an email, and she really appreciated my apology. I apologize actually to her.
What do you think is at the root of Dorinda and Tinsley's issues?
I just think that Dorinda is at a point in her life where she stopped seeing John. She was married to a wonderful man who took care of everything, and Tinsley's with a man who takes care of everything. And I think maybe she resents that Tinsley has something she doesn't have that she wants in her life. And maybe it's not even Tinsley. It's just Dorinda's just not happy, and she's just taking it out on all of us.
In the episode, Leah basically said that she thinks the root of Tinsley and Dorinda's issues is that Tinsley was born into a life that Dorinda puts up onto a pedestal. Do you agree with that, or you think that's not really what?
I can see that, yeah, because she always says that, Tinsley isn't taking advantage of what her status is. Tinsley could be doing more with what she has. You know what? Tinsley's happy with Tinsley, and if she's happy, she's happy. And, Tinsley was brought up with a lot of privileges and brought up in a very, elegant home, private schools, and, the higher echelon in life, whereas Dorinda and I grew up more simple. So I kind of agree a little bit with Leah.
Also in the episode, Sonia said that she thought that you fat shamed her. Do you think that you did, and do you regret that?
No, I didn't fat shame her. I mean, I know myself. Sonia and I have very similar bodies. We're very voluptuous, and we love to eat. And I can gain 5-10 pounds easily within a month, just like Sonia. And my best girlfriends, the ones, some of them you do see on the show, they'll say, oh my gosh, Ramona, you're getting a little stomach, Ramona. Hey, maybe you should be wearing a bigger top, or, you know, what are you doing? You better cut back. If your best friend can't tell you this, who can tell you?
The previews for the next episode have you heading to Newport, and it looks like Leah gets very drunk there and you're not too happy about it.
Can you put maybe like 2 more shots of vodka? No, Ramona, stop. Don't even start
2 more
with me.
shots?
Am I gonna get thrown out of Rhode Island, Tinsley? Am I gonna get thrown out of Newport? Oh, hell no!
I love Leah, but I don't know what's happening here.
Why are you not here?
What can you tease there?
Well, all I can say is you saw how out of control Leah got at my home in the Hamptons with the tiki torches and around the pool. Well, you haven't seen anything yet until you see Newport.
Do you think he would have been as upset with her in Newport if the Hamptons tiki torches didn't happen? Or was it like, oh, like this again?
With Leah, had she not done the Hampton thing, I still would have been as upset with her, you know, in Newport. I mean, well, you'll see why.
Well, I have another teasy question. There's also a moment in the previews where you say,
I don't want to be embarrassed in Newport.
She's not afraid to be embarrassed anywhere else in the world. I was not going to stand by and let that bullshit go over.
I am who I am.
I know, but I don't know if I don't know.
You might not like me then. Do you know what I mean?
Because I don't like that behavior.
What was your reaction to Luann saying that, and what is it about Newport that makes you not want to be embarrassed there?
Well, Luann was just saying that to be cheeky, but, you know, Newport is really kind of, it is very prim and proper. It's New England, you know? We're in a public place, a public hotel. In the Hamptons, you know, you're at my private home. We go out to restaurants that my friends own, so they can be a little forgiving of some, you know, questionable behavior. But this is Newport, you know? All the Bostonians go there.
From a viewer, it often seems like you're in a good place with her, but teasing what's to come, did you struggle this season going back and forth with your feelings over Leah?
Well, first of all, there's something about Leah that I do really adore. And I let her get away with things I would not let anyone else get away with. It's almost like a motherly thing or a sisterly thing or an aunt kind of thing. I want her to hold a higher expectation of herself. I want her to be the best she can be. And then I get disappointed when she does something messed up. If someone else does, if Sonia does, like, oh, that's just Sonia. But no, Leah, come on. Toe the rope. You're a great girl. You're a quality girl. I want you to be better than you are. So yeah, I'm treating her like I would treat Avery, you know. Avery turned out really great. I want Leah to be better than she is.
Speaking of new people, viewers are also seeing your friend Elyse here and there. What has it been like for you filming with her, and what do you think she brings to the mix?
I don't think she really brings anything with the mix. I think you can see she doesn't really fit in.
Did you guys think that she was going to be more gel with everyone more than she actually did when you were filming?
I didn't know really, you know, what to think. I just thought, okay, we always like to add people as a possible friend. I mean, she didn't even make it as a friend. So Bravo doesn't even call her a friend. She was just, you know, Missy Poole had more personality than Elyse does on the show.
So I'm speaking to you on an iconic day. The day that we're filming this interview is actually the 10-year anniversary of the main Scary Island episode with Kelly Bensimone's meltdown, the go to sleep moment. I'm sure you've talked ad nauseum about this, but is there anything from that whole experience that you remember behind the scenes that fans may not know?
One thing people don't know about Scary Island, that we were very concerned for Kelly. We care about Kelly. And we knew Jill was in New York, and we knew we had to send Kelly home. So we called Jill on the phone, and we said, please meet Kelly at the airport. And I called her on the phone, please. I think I was almost crying because I was very, you know, very concerned. And I have that motherly part to me that people don't realize. They do, but they don't. But if you're my friend, even if we're not close, if something's wrong, I am so there for you. So I said, Jill, you must meet Kelly at the airport. You know, she's just, something is not right and we're sending her home. And she said, is this a joke? Is this a joke? And she thought like we were messing with her. Are you filming this? And then I remember Bethenny took the phone from my hand, and Bethenny and Jill weren't even talking at the time, remember? And Bethenny's, no, this is serious. You know, we're very concerned. You need to meet her. And then Jill's like, well, I can't because I'm coming to meet you girls in at Scary Island because I'm supposed to come here. And maybe she did. Maybe she told me. I forgot who she told. But the point is, we told her, please meet her. And she said she could. Maybe she just said she was going somewhere else. I can't go. I'm going on another trip. I don't think she told us she was coming to Scary Island because that would have blown it. I mean, I had a suspicion she might come, but I wasn't sure. So she didn't say she's going. She said, I can't come. And I was like upset with her because I really wanted her to meet Kelly. So yeah, so no one knows that part.
It's exciting. Thanks for the juice. Speaking of Bethenny, you know, she's
10 years ago? That was 10. Jesus
today.
Lord.
Yeah. I was gonna say, speaking of Bethenny, she's returned before. In your gut, do you think she would come back in the future?
I don't think so, but you never know.
Do you think, so Bethenny and Jill have had friction in the past. Do you think with Bethenny not being on, that Jill might be more willing or likely to come on?
Well, you'll see Jill come on a few episodes, but again, Jill just doesn't gel with us anymore. So in my opinion, you'll see and you'll let me know.
You can catch Ramona in new episodes of The Real Housewives of New York City, Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern on Bravo. And we'll have even more from our interview with Ramona next week, so look out for that.
All right, guys, she played the role of Shirley Bennett in the hilarious and highly bingeable NBC sitcom Community. Now you can watch her on Disney Plus's newest family-friendly comedy game show. It's called The Big Fib. Kid contestants are being put to the test. They're given information on a specific topic. Then they have to see if they can tell the difference between a good lie and a sometimes even more outrageous truth. Take a quick look.
Hello, little guy. How are you? Well, this is a classic insect. This is a Madagascan hissing cockroach. They have 4 hisses. They're little singers in the insect world. And the little gentleman cockroaches will sit on stones for months waiting for a little lady cockroach to come along.
Still gross, though, at the same
Yeah,
time.
I know.
That series premieres today, and she is here with us right now. The lovely Yvette Nicole Brown. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
This looks like a lot of fun.
Oh my God, it was the best romp. It's Disney magic meets education meets a robot played by Reese Darby and a master of ceremonies who's just super excited to be there. That's the show in a nutshell.
Before we get into all that, how are you doing in isolation and during this bizarre time?
You know, I'm doing okay. Like, this is the most time I've had to spend with my rescue dog, Harley, who you may hear if a squirrel runs across the house, he's going to go crazy. But this is the most time that he and I have been together since I got him a year ago. So we're really having our first opportunity to bond. And then I also take care of my dad. So it's me, my dad, and my dog. And we've been making it work.
Is Harley loving life like this, or is he ready for some space away from you?
Oh no, he's loving it. Like he's literally right underfoot right now. The only time he will make a fuss is if my Instacart delivery comes while we're on, and it could come. So everybody prepare yourself.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. By the way, looking at your socials, it seems like one thing you're doing to pass the time is staying on top of current events and everything that's happening. You've been very open about some of the stuff that's going on. What are your thoughts right now in the moment we're in?
You know, I'm really concerned about the election. I really need everybody to show up. And I really think that we've all seen enough to know that there needs to be a change. I'm not telling anybody what to do. You vote how your heart tells you to vote. But I feel like it's important to pick someone that actually cares about people. I think if you start there, then only good can come from that. So we need someone that actually sees that people are suffering and wants to make a difference and make it better for them and not just his own pockets. So that's how I feel. I want everybody to stay safe. I want everybody to wash their hands. And really, the mask thing, you guys, it's something that you do for other people. Wear your doggone masks. Wear your masks. Just do it. And if you can stay home, please stay home. That's what I got.
And now this show that you're doing, it's really great for families who are isolating together, a good way for people that need some entertainment and need a little relief from the seriousness of what's going on. What's the most fun part about this show for you from your perspective?
Well, the best thing about the Big Fib to me is that the kids are in control. I think it's so important for us to empower our youth. If I wasn't an actress, I would be a teacher. I love kids. So I love the idea that from the time the show begins, that kid gets to decide what questions are asked, how the game flows. And I've been joking about this in all my interviews, but if you pay close attention, I don't even have a chair on the show. I literally am leaning on a side table next to the throne that the babies are sitting on. So we wanted to have that visual image of these are the people that are running this ship. They're the ones that are in charge. I'm the cruise director, they're the captains. And so the fun part for me is watching their brains and watching their great questions and watching how much they're enjoying learning things. And I think that helps adults who watch go, well, let me find out about outer space too. Right. Let me see what this is, you know? So I think it's a really fun, educational yet fun. It's like a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. We're doing that. No one can spot a fib better than a kid. That's something we say every episode of the Big Fib, and it's true. They can see like that you're fidgety. They can see that your eyes are kind of looking down. They can see that you're going, they can see that stuff, and they inherently know that's not right. What
How about
they're
you?
doing
You
is
good?
not
You
right.
good fibber?
You know what? I can lie to myself really well.
That's important. I think
That's good.
I think sometimes that's good.
Listen, I wake up every morning and go, Yvette, you are not going to go to the refrigerator 27 times today. And Yvette says back, I know, girl, I'm not. And then Yvette does it. So I do lie to myself very well. To other
All right.
people, I try not to lie because I think unless it's like a little white one to save feelings, I might do that. But I never like to deceive for personal gain.
Let's talk about Community quickly. This whole virtual reunion table read that happened and people went crazy about. Just talk to me about that. And just why is there, it just feels like the cast just really, really loves each other.
We do. And you know, it's funny, if you watch the show 10 years ago, or if you watch it, you're binge watching it now.
Which many people are, right?
Yes, a lot of people are. Our friendship has not changed. Exactly what you see in that table read in the Q&A after is exactly how we were on set. We just really enjoyed each other's foolishness. And so we have a lot of inside jokes and everybody does their little bits. And it's literally like having a team of comedians and actors in front of you performing all day long and just enjoying each other. So I think that feeling is what people felt inherently when they watched the show, and I'm glad they got to see the table read and the Q&A to see that's really just how we are with each other.
And so
it was really great.
That table read, cooperative polygraphy, right? The 4th episode of season 5. Why was that the one to choose for this kind of streaming live event?
Well, one, it was a bottle episode, so there weren't a lot of extra, we didn't need a lot of other actors to take part. And it stayed, since it's set in one space, everybody could just sit down and you could really recreate it nicely on a Zoom call because we all were just sitting at the table the entire time as well. And the only extra actor we needed was Mr. Stone, which was played by Pedro Pascal. And in the actual episode, it was Walter Goggins. So that's all we needed. So it was great. It was a great choice. Yes.
Final thing about it, and I'll just say this, that we talk a lot about, reboots and fans loving shows all the time, but Community seems like it's in a category of its own when it comes to that momentum. There have been rumblings about a Community movie, something like that, or maybe another sort of reboot, reset. What do you think? What do you hope? What do you know? Give it all.
Well, I know nothing. I'm as usual. I know nothing. What I do know is that everyone would love to do it. There's no one in the cast who's like, I don't want to do that movie. Everybody wants to do it. It's just a question of, do we have the time? Like, had we not been in the pandemic, we probably couldn't have even all come together to do the table read right now because everybody is so busy doing everything else. But so it's like the perfect time for us to be able to do that. And it benefited World Central Kitchen and Frontline Foods. I want to make sure I say that. And the feed is still up. You can still donate it. As to the movie, if they can find a way to corral us all at the same time, 100% we would do it. Dan just has to write it too. I want them to start giving Dan the fire because Dan has to write it before we can do it. So tell Dan to write it.
So that's kind of the main hook there. All right, so Dan, get to work. They're on board. Yvette, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to talk to you.
My pleasure. Thank you. Can I say one more thing? This is another thing about political and us coming together. Our infrastructure is crumbling. And I narrated and produced a documentary that is free on YouTube, all about it. It's called Be Prepared to Stop. And it's important as Americans for us to take care of our roads and bridges and waterways. So please watch the documentary and learn how you can help make this better.
Thank you for plugging that. And you can also, guys, watch the Big Fib. It's streaming now on Disney+.
Yes.
This is my glam room, which is a mess.
The show must go on. Since March 30th, due to concerns about coronavirus, the ladies of The Talk have been mastering the art of working from home. And with over a month of handling their own hair, makeup, and wardrobe, they're giving us an exclusive glimpse of how it all goes down every day. Starting with Sharon Osbourne, who shares her desk side essentials.
This is where I sit, right here. And I have my water, my chocolates, some crazy pills, and of course my flowers. Always have my flowers.
Marie Osmond gives us a look at her morning makeup routine, specifically how she applies her eyelash extensions. She has all the tips and tricks you need for a more natural look.
What I like to do is take off just the little tiny end of the lash, and I'm talking like that much. See how I just take off like one little tiny piece, because I don't like the lash to go clear into the eye. I like it to look more natural than that. So you get your glue, and here's the secret. First you want to bend your lash. You want to put the glue on, not on the top part. You want the glue to go on the underside of the lash. And that's your secret. Then you want to kind of blow it so it gets a little sticky, and make sure you kind of roll it so it gets a good shape. And more roll to the end of the front than the back. More roll here than to the outside. You lay it there where it goes up, and then you just lay it, and it's not quite on my eye yet. That's the secret. Then you take a pair of tweezers, see? And then you just lift that end, and if you want it to look like those pretty lashes, see how it's not full in the front where I cut it off the end, but I pull it out, which makes my eye look swoopier, and you don't have all that mascara on because you put that black thing underneath. And then see how the top of the lash is nice and clean.
Unlike Marie, Eve is a bit more nervous about her new at-home makeup routine.
I'm actually really scared of doing my own hair and makeup, honestly, because I've been getting it done for so long, and I have amazing, talented artists, Ernesto and Angela, who are incredible. I actually I don't like to do too much, and I'm very low maintenance. Like my life, like real life, I'm a very low maintenance girl. So I don't like to do too much. So yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit of cheek. I think I'm gonna add a little more of the concealer. Oh, here it is. NARS Creamy Concealer. Yes. And I use a few different shades. I use Caramel, which is probably my favorite. Or this one is Sucre de something. I can't speak French, so I'm not gonna play myself. I'm gonna finish because clearly I have a lot to do, and we are going on soon. We have to tape, so yeah.
Due to social distancing, many of us have gotten pretty acquainted with the video conference app called Zoom, whether it's for work meetings or to connect with friends and family. And Cheryl Underwood has the ultimate Zoom hack that you can try before joining your next call.
And before you join the conference, there's a screen that says before you press join video, look at that pre-screen right there to check yourself out, see if you're comfortable with the look, the lighting, and your style. And if you cool with everything, then you join the conference and everything will be great because you're looking great.
As many of us have found out, working from home doesn't mean you'll always feel fresh and awake every morning. Carrie Ananaba shares her morning must-haves to keep her up and alert, and gives us a little tour of her chalk workspace.
Right before the show, I drink coffee, and then I have one more glass of tea with warm water, and if I'm really sleepy, then I do like sparkling water with lemon, lime, and oranges from an orange tree. Then I head on over to my set, which when we first started was in my dining room. I first started shooting here in this area with that as my background. And then we've been doing it now for a while. We've been shooting the Talk at Home for a while now. So I moved it into this room, which is my living room.
To see more of how these hosts are making the show happen from home, watch the full episode of Getting Remote Ready with the Ladies of the Talk, only on PeopleTV. And we move on to more tips for getting ready at home, or maybe just a little at-home pick-me-up that you can all do. So this is a really fun one here. Drybar founder and ultimate girl boss, Allie Webb, is sharing with us a super easy blowout that we can all do from home. I even followed along with her tips and tricks. I'm notoriously terrible at my hair, but this was very simple to do. I didn't have any of her products, but I gave it my best shot, and I think it turned out pretty great. Take a look.
Hi people now, my name is Allie Webb and I am the founder of Drybar, and today I'm going to show you how to do a blowout from beginning to end. I have really frizzy, kind of wavy hair. Granted, it's not as curly as it used to be, but I'm going to show you guys exactly what I do to get a blowout and all the steps and all the stuff that I do. So I believe Andrea is going to be following along. I hope it makes sense. I'm gonna break it down as simply as I can. The first thing I'm gonna do is I always prep my hair with this, it's called Prep Rally. It's like a primer for your hair. So, you know, a lot of people prime their face before they put on makeup. I prime my hair, and it's great because it actually is a detangler. So if your hair tends to get knotty, it's also full of like vitamins and nutrients and biotin and all sorts of good stuff that we want for our hair. This is like it kind of speeds up your blowout time. It's quick dry. So I just use a tiny bit. I never use much product at all. I'm not a huge like over product person, so I'm just gonna put that through my hair. Also, another thing that's important when you're blow drying your hair is that you are kind of setting your part roughly where you want it. I like my part kind of in the middle, but not perfect. The next thing I'm gonna do is rough dry my hair. And if you don't know what rough drying means, it's basically just getting like a lot of the moisture out of my hair. So I'm gonna rough dry now and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so I don't rough dry too much. I would say it's probably like 40% of my hair. So now it's like starting to, you can start to see like the curls are starting to come out. And I'm a big fan of sectioning. I use a clip like this, but in the beginning, as I start, I always start in the front and I'm just gonna first get that, because sometimes if you are rushed for time and you only have a little bit of time, you wanna get at least the front of your hair blown out so that, you know, that's the first thing people see, especially if you're on, you know, video calls right now. It's like you definitely want the front to look good. So I should probably point out, so I am gonna section out just the front of my hair. If you're, you know, not good with blow drying your hair, I would just pull the rest of it out of your way, because that kind of makes it easier to kind of just deal with what's in front of you. And I'm gonna use a round brush or bristle brush for this part, just because I feel like it gets my hair nice and smooth. And then I'm going to use our flat brush for the rest, and I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm gonna hold the brush in vertical sections, like so. Okay, so I just blew out the sides. I like to give, or the front, I like to give a little bit of lift right around my face, but not a ton. You know, I don't like when my hair goes big like that. So as you can see, I just kind of use the brush, holding it like this and twisting to get a little bit of a bend, which will come out a little bit. I don't do this much curl anywhere else in my hair. I just like to do it to give the front a little bit of shape, which is what I did there. Now that I did that, now I'm gonna start on the rest. Again, I just like to have that little bit of shape in the front. I will use eventually an iron on this too to even out any waves. Sometimes I get more curl on one side versus the other. I'm gonna take the hair from my temple and kind of blow dry everything else down. I'm gonna leave out the part that I already blew out and just kind of take everything from there. So I'm gonna do the top now. I don't usually, from about here to here, I use a round brush to create a little bit of volume on top. So I'm gonna take a section that's about this big. You know, never more than this much hair on the brush is my kind of rule of thumb, like so. Okay, so now I have a little bit of volume throughout my kind of mohawk section, and I'm gonna move on to the back, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm gonna use my flat brush and I'm gonna okay, everything should be dry now. It looks pretty good. Nice and straight. Now, you can stop here and just have like a pretty like soft, basic blowout, as we call it in Drybar land. This would be kind of like a straight up, just like a soft, pretty blowout, which I like to do sometimes, but I'm gonna show you guys also today how to turn it into a Mai Tai, which is basically like messy beachy waves. And it's great to, you know, to show you guys the versatility of, you know, how you can take different styles and turn them into different things. You know, sometimes I'll leave my hair straight for one day and then the next day I'll do it wavy. So, but today I'm gonna show you how to do just like almost like a barely there wave. The first thing I use before using any kind of heat hot tool, is spray. This is our hot toddy spray. It protects hair up to 450 degrees. I spray that in before I start, kind of loosely. All right, so I don't like a ton of curl. I like just a very soft wave. Again, if you have longer hair, you're gonna want to section from about the temple and down and kind of do that hair before you do this hair. And then a product that I love using is our brown dry shampoo, especially if you're stuck at home and can't get your hair colored, which you know we all are. This is our detox for brunettes. I have a couple of little grays coming in here that I want to cover. So it also covers the scalp, which I love. It makes my hair appear thicker than it is. Okay, so my hair's had a minute to set. It's still a little bit warm, but I'm gonna give it a try. Kind of just comb it out. There we go. So the curls kind of all form together. Is how I've been liking to wear my hair. So it's also like if you have longer hair, this is a great kind of trick because you can just let your hair start to blend together as you comb it more and more. So I just like to do it a little bit and then give it a little bit of a shake with my fingers. Voila. And you can kind of go back and make it messy or straight, whatever you're feeling. I hope that was helpful, you guys. A little bit of a shaggy bob is kind of what I'm sporting today, and I hope that helped. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, so that was really fun and easy to follow. I honestly felt like my hair had more volume and an extra boost. So if you're interested in that, try it at home.
All right, coming up next week, actress Tracy Ellis Ross joins us. She is sharing how she made her dreams of singing a reality with her new film. It's called The High Note.
Plus, Chrissy Metz has been working on her musical career as well. She's sharing her journey and telling us more about her new song, Talking to God. Thank you so much for watching. Have a safe and happy Memorial Day weekend.
Yes, and we say thank you to all of our veterans who have done such an incredible job risking their lives to keep us safe and protect us. We thank you this weekend. We'll see you back here next week, everyone.
Bye, everyone.